Was your last name ever O'Connell?
Mine was not.
No?
No. But the people who came before me, it may have been from,
Hmm.
a couple of generations back in the old country. Now, Connell is Irish.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I lived in Ireland.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's
That's why
right.
that's why I asked.
You're like
Yeah.
one of us. Were you there for like a year or two?
What? 4.
You were there for 4 years?
4
Oh my
years.
gosh. So you like really, you're kind of, there's a little Irish in you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big part of my life chapter for
And
sure.
was it as cool? Is it what I picture Ireland to be? You go, there's the giant dramatic cliffs, everything's green, there's a rocky coastline, it's cold, it's windy. Is that the case, or is that just in movies or in my imagination?
It's all scenically true. It's all, yeah, it's as beautiful as it is in the
So it
movies.
is all that and
Yes,
more. And
absolutely.
a bunch of drunks walking around too, or is that also just the
I think that's one of the
that
stereotypes.
okay.
There is a lot of more drinking. There is definitely a lot more drinking. I
Mm,
think there's less things to do when it's raining and overcast.
yeah. Just hang
Um,
out with your mates. Do they call them mates there? Am I making that up too? I'm just like
I
throwing like all the world cultures in one pot and stirring it up, and I'm like,
I
I
think
don't.
mate is more British.
And Australian.
Oh yeah, in Australia, of
Australia,
course. Yeah.
All right, so it really stops there.
Yeah. The mate or
Maybe in
the
England though. In England, they're mates too. They're mates in England.
there's mates in
That's
England
what I'm
for
trying to
sure.
say.
Yeah, in
So,
the
but it
UK.
might stop there. Whereas in Ireland, maybe even Scotland, it's fizzles out. No more
Yeah.
mates.
I never used mate personally while I was living in
Okay,
Dublin.
I'm taking your word for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just want to make sure if I go,
And this is a few
I don't
years since
say
I've lived
mate.
there. Yeah, that was a
And then they're
yeah.
like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh, my name's Connell. I thought I was I thought we were all the same." They're like, "Nah,
Yeah.
we don't say mate here, mate."
And then you're formerly O'Connell, probably.
Somebody was.
Somebody was.
Somebody way back when was. I'm Irish and Italian.
Aha.
Yeah.
There you go.
Classic New York. I was born in Long Island, so it's like New York classic. When you think of New York, a lot of Irish, a lot of English, and I'm
Yeah.
just the hybrid result, the
So
dumbed down result.
So the last name history, all of that, or education, all that to say that Chris Connell is on the show today.
Here he is.
Chris.
He is Chris.
Yeah, you're here, and it's kind of
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here. This is fun because, uh, full disclosure, you're actually my neighbor, like literally my neighbor.
I'm like Mr. Rogers to you. I literally live. Our doors literally face each other.
Yeah,
Not down the hall, not down the street. We literally can like knock on each other's door without even leaving our own homes.
I love that.
We're that connected, Fede.
Absolutely.
Life has brought us to this point.
Isn't that funny?
We're so close to one another.
Yeah, and that's so interesting because I've lived in where you live now for a very long time, where I first moved in there a long time ago, and I first met your wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you became my neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting how life goes in these cycles. Sometimes you need to go away, as far as Ireland, and come back. And when you come back, there's something new.
Like Chris Connell at your door, 20 feet away from where you sleep. All of a sudden, this American showed up.
Who is this guy?
And that's when it got really good.
So for you to have shown up, that means you had to make a journey too. So tell us about that.
Well, I made a journey. Yeah. I mean, I made a lot of journeys. I'd say this was probably one of the most important ones. I got married. My wife, yes, was a friend of yours and lived in the same building. And I met Jennifer, 5 years ago. And we did the long distance thing. It was all online, such a typical, the typical patterns of today, right? Everything's online and the world's getting smaller. And we met and had a long distance connection. And shortly after, this was actually right during the pandemic, by the way, like in the thick of it. We just said, "Hey, I'm in LA, you're in Toronto. Let's do this. Let's make it official." And I never looked back. Yeah, I changed everything. My relationship, where I live, now where I work, my whole livelihood. It's just like picking up the pin and dropping it in a brand new space and saying, "Figure it out." And I've done that a couple times. I used to live in New York City. I used to live in Los Angeles. I used to live in North Carolina. I've kind of been all over the map. And so the transition for me was a welcome one. Doing that's easy for me. I'm a
Mm.
believer that if you can succeed in one place, you can choose to do it somewhere else. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Yep,
If you're very confident with your approach to things, you're just like, you know what, I'll figure it out.
totally.
It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, because actually that's a great way for you to start, yeah, unpacking how you got to this big marriage pivot, but you've kind of hinted at it there. It comes with experience, right? So it's almost like the bigger pivots need to have multiple baby pivots.
Yeah, it's all practice, man. Every day is
Yeah.
batting practice of
Yeah.
life, you know.
Yeah.
You're just like learning skills and the experience builds confidence. The
Mm.
confidence is what carries you through wherever
Mhm.
you're headed.
Yeah. So yeah, take us back to some of those the the batting practice pivots.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you it's never ended. I'm still swinging the bat every day, you know, and mostly striking out. I mean, that's the way it goes, you know.
Mm.
Well, I mean, to get a little bit more specific with it, um, yeah, I at a young age just was in pursuit of something completely different. I'm an actor, by the way. I don't think we've mentioned that yet. I
No,
should
no,
tell
no.
the audience
Yeah.
before
Oh yeah.
they're
Oh
like,
yeah.
"What's he gonna say?
I mean,
What is he, an
it would be a
astronaut? Did he cure cancer? What is he doing?" No,
it,
no, it's just another actor.
it would be a hard secret to keep as we kept talking.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Gosh, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
he like
Yeah,
invented something."
yeah.
Oh, he's just an actor.
Yeah.
Well, I was like many, watched something one day that just was like, "Holy hell! You're telling me they're getting paid to do that?
Aha.
Well, that sounds cool. Let's do that." And I think I was a young, probably naive kid who,
Mhm.
just I think I wanted to challenge myself and explore something totally different. I said this and I still say it today. Whatever you do, I want to go to a party and someone's like, "Hey, what do you do?" And I'm like, I want to whatever you do, I want it to be something that people go, "Oh my God, that's cool. I
Ah.
want to hear more about that." But if they're like, "I'm in accounting," I'm like, I gotta get another beer. I'll be right back." Like where you just zone out. So I wanted to do something that people wanted to talk about if I ever told them,
I
"Here's what I
see.
do." Oh
Okay.
my God, that's interesting. That's different. That's outside the box. I want to hear more about that.
Was there a movie you were watching that aha moment was like that person's getting
No,
paid for that? And what movie was it?
it was a collective.
Okay.
It was just all the me when I'm a young kid running around thinking, "Oh my God, I want to put the gun in my hand and run from the bad guys and dive over the hill and have the explosion." And I think that was just the excitement part of it. It's obviously created and evolved many times and has many different layers and purposes, and the reasons why I do this today are so different from where it started.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the evolution of it.
Oh, take us
And
to that.
but it's yeah, it's been a fantastic ride, and as I was alluding to, I strike out way more
And what do
than
you
I
mean in
connect with
terms
it.
of like the rejections in the
Oh
industry?
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that's
that's
all this
okay.
is.
It's funny. There's a theme of people that have the ability to keep coming back, and it's
Sure.
just like this rejection. It's life. I come from a sales background where I'd say it was 99% rejection, and then I think in acting I think it's similar, but I think life is also about rejection.
It's all about rejection. And so this message can is anyone can take a message like that and say, "Oh yeah, that me too. I know all about rejection. I know all about the challenges of it." You know what's interesting about arts and acting as a whole? It's so personal
Mm.
that when you do get the rejection, it can be taken personally. I mean, that makes
Mm.
sense, right? Like, "Oh my God, they must have thought I was just too short or too fat or too weird looking, or maybe I didn't fit." Like it's so, maybe I didn't like my smile or something, the sound of my voice. When you're an artist, you're bringing so much of your identity to the table and your personality. And with that comes all the vulnerability that makes this really special. So when you do get the rejection, I think it can sting. It can really pierce your heart a little deeper than maybe,
Hmm.
applying for a typical business position, something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. That's all this is. It's a carousel of rejection. And it's just
Yeah.
about who's getting back up each time and just
Right.
saying, "Okay, I'm learning something. I'm going to grow from that, or I can improve. Or you know what? Screw that. I know what I'm capable of. I'm going to learn
Yeah.
from this and we're going to just run with it. In fact, I'm having a great time. Let's go. Bring it on.
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing is. But I just think for an artist, it can feel a little bit more personal, you know.
Hmm. And so, how do you get yourself back up? Because there is 99 no's and maybe one
Yeah,
yes.
man, I wish it was 99. I think it's like 999. Trust me, I've like pulled enough hair out to feel it, you know. That inner dialogue that you have with yourself, that confidence that we were talking about, which often comes with experience, you just lean on that.
Hmm.
You just remind yourself of what you're capable of because of the things you've already overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
99 no's are my armor.
Yeah.
That's my muscle. That's my strengths. And that's where you get the confidence to go, you know what? Let's do that again. Let's keep going. I don't care. I was told 99 other times no. And every time I kept showing up. And guess what? That one time this guy said maybe. And you know what? I'll take that maybe and I'm going to run with it because I
Yeah.
might get another maybe one day. And in fact, if I get enough maybes, I might even get a yes one day. And if I get one yes, now I know I can do it. And if I know I can do it, now it's just rinse and repeat. I'm going to keep
Yeah.
showing up, man. I'm going to keep coming. You can't hold me back because I already know I can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I think this ties in nicely to the daily improvement. So we spoke offline in our prep for this about the micro improvements that have to be done in life, right? So I think the rejection is actually a beautiful thing that can happen because you have the opportunity to wake up the next day and improve it at least by 1%.
The 1% rule.
The 1% rule.
Just
One of my favorites.
just strive to get 1% better each day. Whether you're learning something new, whether you're operating more efficiently, whether it's a book you're reading or a podcast you're listening to. You might say, yeah, I've listened to 99 other podcasts that were the same thing. I'll listen to podcasts in other areas of life and I'll go, oh man, I've heard that so many times. They say the same stuff over and over. It's like, okay. But then sometimes there's that one thing that was said at that one moment, that 1%. And that can change it all because that's all you needed. That 1%
Mm-hmm.
is everything. And if you get 1% better each day, then just run the numbers. If you keep running this thing, you get 100% better in 100 days. I don't even think it's that high. Technically, I think it's like less than 1%. But the idea is that you just keep showing up and you keep choosing to grow. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you keep showing up, and it's harder. It's easier said than done. That's the thing. I think maybe that's what makes wellness and personal growth elusive or a challenge for some people. Is that so you're really good with your discipline, right? You go to the gym daily or as much as you can.
I go to the gym every day that I can go.
Yeah.
You know, except for when I'm shooting a podcast with you right now.
Oh no,
I'm just kidding. I'll still go down there tonight. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll see you there.
I was like, because you're usually, but you're more of a morning gym person, so your gym routine is off already by coming here.
Yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
for ruining everything, man.
I didn't go either. I usually
Jesus, I know where we both need to go after this.
Actually, I don't even know what time this is, but when we're recording this, no, but I think we're recording. I literally be doing like high intensity interval training right now or something.
And instead, we're
So we're here. But
sitting
you know
around
what?
in
It's
comfy
good
chairs.
to actually change up the routine sometimes a bit because then things get really kind of. You need to stunt your body and stunt your routine as well.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And you need to also set new goals and challenges that are, it's easy to just set little goals that are so easy to achieve, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, if I do this, then, that's easy. And then at the end of the week, you kind of pat yourself on the back, but you were still in your comfort zone, right?
Mhm.
Into your credit and what you're saying, your point, to reset the bar, completely shake things up and have a whole new set of circumstances. You got to do that every now and then.
Yeah.
Just for also for life, just for excitement, to experience things that are new and different. But you just don't want to be in your comfort zone. Comfort is the enemy of creativity. If you want to be creative, don't get comfortable. It's just the two
Right?
don't mix well together. You need to be a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's what pushes you outside into the creative zone,
Totally.
right? That's how you
Yes.
overcome something, but you got to have something to overcome. You can't just casually run through the same cycle each day. And well, I went and I walked the dog today, and then I watched that podcast and I brushed my teeth, and then, oh, it's bedtime. I guess I got. No, you need to like test yourself, test what you're capable of. But you have to have the obstacles there to do it. And you were asking about obstacles a few moments ago.
Mm.
We were kind of starting to talk about an obstacle. They're the greatest gifts.
Yeah, because
You
it's
have
like,
to
yeah,
have
it's the
obstacles.
rejection. I think you were talking about, we've been talking about how rejection is important,
It's
but there,
critical.
yeah, like the quote that I love that, I've heard in a lot of places is like, rejection is, it's just a redirection, basically.
Well,
It's
I
a
like
life
that.
redirection.
I like that.
Usually takes you somewhere way more incredible.
I like a quote similar. It goes, an obstacle is just an opportunity in disguise,
That's a good one too. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah, totally.
We're just overcoming, but that's life. That's the
Okay.
whole reason we're here. So you need those objections and obstacles and headaches and bumps in the road. That's how you grow. That's the whole
Hmm.
reason we have achievement. That's the excitement of this, and how it pertains to this career as an actor. Well, let me tell you, there's plenty of obstacles and there's plenty of objections. So it's a buffet of problems. If you're looking for them, they're there waiting for you. It's not easy,
Yeah.
and it's going to take sacrifice and heartache and discipline
Hmm.
and strength and commitment. And that's the cool part. That's the one of the more exciting things that pursuing any artistic endeavor is. It's because
Hmm.
you're constantly challenged. But on the other side of that, you're discovering like this more powerful version of yourself, which isn't that wonderful?
So I think when people embark on these types of careers, right? I think the question is like, why, right? Like, why put yourself through this when it says there is like what's the reward at what's on the other side of the rainbow? What's the payoff? What that keeps you going through that?
I can tell you what I once thought it was, and I can tell you what I'm learning that it is, because they're
Ooh,
two different
okay,
points. I
okay,
used to think it was fame and fortune. I used
okay.
to think, oh my God, if
Was
I
that
just
one of
made
the
it as an
original?
actor,
Was that an original motivator?
heck yeah, man.
Oh, okay,
Heck
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Let me
It
just
goes
go
back to that
ahead.
story, right? You're
Every
watching the
actor
movie.
out there listening to this, that's what it was about. We all know why we were here. We wanted the Ferraris. We wanted to live in the Hollywood Hills. Fame and fortune. Oh man, I wanted it all. I was going to be like an action hero or whatever. We
Okay.
all get into it on day one for these reasons.
Interesting.
But I can tell you what I've come to learn for me that it has
Yes, that's the
become,
interesting part. I want to know
because
that.
that's part of the layers that I was talking about. Like
Okay.
it's really evolved.
Okay.
I'm learning who I am through this. This is just a vessel that is just teaching me the different layers of who I am as a person. It teaches me what I'm capable of. It points out my blind spots and my weaknesses. It shows me the things that a lot of people are just afraid to discover about themselves, and they often just push under the rug and stuff like that, right? We all kind of shun away from those moments. We don't want to be challenging ourselves in that way so often. We don't want to
Mm,
know our weaknesses, right? And
yeah.
in acting, as an actor, I'm uncovering so much about my own identity, just about my own thought process, not just as a performer, but just like as a person. Like I'm really discovering who I am. And my goal at the end of my life is to surely know the answer to that question. I think a lot of times people don't even really know who they are. I think they
Uh,
falsely chase this idea of what they are, or what society tries to peg them to be. But you know how many people get up every day and they don't even know what they're doing? They go to
mm,
work, to a job they probably hate, or a life they don't love, and they don't even
hmm.
know what they're doing. They're just plugging in the time, waiting for the weekends,
That's
and
such interesting.
I don't think
Yeah.
they know what they're even aiming for.
Mm.
I don't think they know who they are. I don't think they've looked in the mirror in that regard. And what's one of the gifts as an artist is that's all you're doing is you're staring into the mirror and going, how am I approaching this? How and not and the characters, the characters are all different. You get to kind of play with different versions of yourself as an actor. But beyond that the challenge of the pursuit of acting is a whole nother layer of this thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this is that hard. I didn't know, I wasn't thinking about this stuff. I didn't think I could do those things, but then I did it. Oh my gosh, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's when you start really uncovering who you are. So that's what I really want and appreciate more in this pursuit. I love the challenge of it.
Mm.
I just want to know, can I make it to the top of that mountain or not? I just need to know if I do this before I leave this earth, can I get to the top of that mountain or not? And pursuing the arts is such a great vehicle to do that.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. So it's what I'm hearing, it's that it's a self-discovery
Bingo,
tool.
bingo, bingo. All day, man. That's all it is. I'm just figuring out who I am. You're asking Chris Connell and the last name and where did it come from and all that. And those are just things that are given to me, but it's not me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wanting to know who am I each day, and I'm learning a little bit more, which is a wonderful
Well,
thing.
you've just okay. Well, now I'm curious. What versions of yourself have you discovered? Right?
Oh,
What would these versions of yourself tell that the one that was seeking fame and the Ferrari, the home in the Hollywood Hills? That would have been nice, though. It could still
it
happen.
could still
Yeah.
happen. Yeah. If anyone out there is listening, you got a big multi-million-dollar script and are looking for an
I'm
action
coming to
hero,
use the pool.
Chris Connell, you can come to the pool. Fede gets an invite to the pool. You'll get a seat in the Ferrari. I still want those things. Who doesn't want those things? That's a wonderful thing. You got to have stuff that's worth the shiny object.
Yeah.
You got to have something fun.
Yeah.
Of course. I forgot your question.
That was a really good one.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I'll ask it again.
I got excited.
Yeah.
Please, once again.
So it came from, what have you discovered about yourself,
Oh.
and what would the most recent version of yourself that's discovered something? Because I'm sure there's been various
Such a
versions.
deep, good question. I'll tell you who I used to think I was. I think I used to, at a younger age, in my 20s, I think I was like, oh, I'm the cool guy. I'll just be like Mr. Cool. Hopefully, like,
Sunglasses.
people. Yeah, I'm like that guy. Oh, it's Chris. He's so cool. I just want to like be popular, and everybody's gonna just think, man, he's so confident and he's so charismatic, and he's just kind of got the moves. You know that guy when he walks into the room, and you're just like, oh, that guy. Oh, he's so cool.
You're still cool. You still got the moves.
Thanks, man. And then, you get knocked down a couple times and you get humbled. And this is part of the challenges, the obstacles. Things don't work out right away. You realize in your 20s, you go, wait a minute, I didn't get rich and famous by 28. What happens? What about in your 30s start to come? And all of a sudden you start questioning things. Well, do I have a lifestyle? Have I created a financial stability for myself, and things that maybe at this stage of life that I should be considering? Should I want to buy a home by now, get married? Dare I say have kids? You just start, as you mature, you just reasonably start considering those things a little bit more. You're not just Mr. Action Hero. So when you don't become the action hero in your 20s, you start getting, you face those things. You say, oh man, I thought I was going to, what happens if I don't? Do I keep going? Should I move back to North Carolina and like work at a bank somewhere? Did this not work? You go through all the phases of self-doubt, right? Yeah. You just start to wonder, oh shoot, did I miss a mark? Am I like starting to age out of this thing and I didn't make it, and everybody else who's sensible is like turned around by this stage?
It's a dead end. Time to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's, when you're driving, you're like, there's a dead end ahead, and you're like, it looks
that
like
wasn't
there's
in the GPS.
Yeah, wait a minute. Did we make a wrong turn somewhere?
Yeah.
And so you do have those conversations with yourself, and you're forced to confront that about yourself. And you start to question, am I enough in this? Do I have this stuff? Did I think I had this stuff, but I don't have this stuff and no one told me? Did I wrongfully, blindly just keep fighting for this, and I'm the silly one because I really should have stopped because I don't have it in me. It's not me.
Wow.
I thought I had it. I still think I do, but do I? And all of a sudden you have that whole 360 conversation. And you
Ooh,
got to go through those. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? There's lots of layers and colors to this
Well, what you
thing.
just explained can happen. What you literally just explained can happen multiple times in one day.
Bingo, man. And it does. You know those days where you just feel so down and out
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yeah. We've all had them. Yeah.
dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. In fact, I'm doing this so backwards and I don't even have anything to show for it. Or I'm not on that billboard out front. And that means I guess I didn't make it, right? Or I didn't get that audition
Oh,
I was
wow.
really hunting for. So maybe I really just am not good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Good. Yeah.
totally in the wrong place. I should have bought that house by now. And I should have been focused on my retirement at this stage. And then you go to bed at night and you're lying in bed and you're just like, oh, man, I'm not even good at this. I'm, you know?
Yeah.
And then
It's
you can
the
wake up the
second
next
note.
day and be like, hey, you booked it. And you're like, I knew it. Oh, gosh. Come on, everybody. I knew that. I'm fine. Don't even mess with me. I got it, baby. You know, like
Yeah.
you can, and that could all be in a 24-hour period.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then, but it's amazing sometimes how little we need sometimes of positive
You do need base
returns.
hits.
Yeah.
You need a base hit
You're
every
gonna get
now and
yourself
then.
out of that, right?
Yeah. You can't just strike out every time. Give me a little base hit, big or small. And the wins can be small.
Mhm.
Do you understand? Like it doesn't
totally.
have to be anything incredible. It could just, for an
1000%.
actor, it could be a fun podcast that got you all revved up again and excited and
Yeah.
you're energized,
Yeah.
or a photo shoot for some, or just a small commercial or a music video. Many of those things I once did. And they're like those little things that kind of pick you back up and put you, they straighten you out, they put you back on the track. And then again, if you just keep giving to this, it does work. Eventually it works. If you're not
Yeah.
completely insane, eventually your number will come.
Yeah.
It'll come. But you got to be intentional
You gotta
about
keep
what you're
showing up.
doing.
Yeah. And basically, so what you're describing is there's more on the journey to achieve what we want to achieve. You want to get that. If the goal is that the home in the Hollywood Hills or the Ferrari, if that is the goal, there's building. We spend 99% of the time in the resistance phase. Like it's one challenge and force of resistance after another. That's basically what's happening, right? And in a way, that's kind of like it is the reality of our daily lives.
But that's also kind of what makes it exciting, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
exactly.
you also thank God for it too?
Because it's all the unexpected things going back to the redirection. I think of of the life pivot I had at the peak of the pandemic, where I had a job that on paper had it all, and should be happy with everything that I had achieved up to the point. But then the redirection happens, and I think of all the people who have come into my life since the pandemic. I was like, wow, all those people, yourself included, would not have maybe come into my life in that shape, in that way, or in that shape.
Some of the best things that have ever happened to me were also at the moment, the worst things. I remember in North Carolina, I had applied to a very prestigious film school. Ironically, it was in North Carolina.
Oh, is this the best and worst day of your life?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
They're all bad. It's all just bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Because I'm at the edge of it. Okay,
but I'll answer that one
okay,
too.
we'll get down. Yeah, okay.
This is just another notch on
tell us
my
the first story.
disaster belt, baby.
Tell us the first one first, and then no one leave your seats, because there's the best and worst day of your life is coming up.
Go get your popcorn and go to the bathroom right now, because you're not going to want to miss out on this. No, this is just, I got rejected. I applied to a film school when I was in high school. Like, I was just a kid, like a little kid. And I didn't get in. It was like, I didn't get in. I guess I'm a failure at life. I've already failed at life. And then like 2 weeks later, I got 2 calls from 2 other even better schools. And they were in New York City. And they're both like, we'll take you. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, that other school, those guys, I didn't care about them anyway. And then I got to live in Manhattan at 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
And like, thank God I didn't get into the school that I wanted to get into, because then I would have never experienced the grandeur of New York City and all the crazy fun experiences and mind opening things that I got to explore up there, which then leads me to Los Angeles. Usually it's just everything is just coming out of the heartbreak of another situation, but it propels you into the most
Isn't that
incredible moments.
interesting?
It happens all the time.
That's fascinating when
All
you
the
think about
time.
that, right? It's just fascinating because even if I don't move to Ireland, right? If I don't move to Ireland, maybe I stay living where I was, but maybe something happens that takes me somewhere else, right? And then maybe I don't meet you somehow. It's just like the
It's
universe
like the
is
butterfly
really,
effect.
yeah, absolutely,
You know what I'm
right?
talking about?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
It's
Yeah,
a real thing, man. You
yeah.
know how I'm here? You know why I'm talking to you? Because on Instagram, I was scrolling,
I love
and
this
one
story.
day
Yeah.
I was doom scrolling, and I saw some girl holding a dog, and I never do this, ever. This was during
He
the
was holding a
pandemic.
dog.
She was just holding a little stupid
Okay.
puppy. I had
Stupid
no ulterior
puppy. It was
motives.
a
I
nice puppy.
I just wrote, cute dog. I don't even know who this girl is. I don't even know anything. I just wrote it, and I don't even know why, because I don't do that, for
Mhm.
real. And I just kept scrolling, assuming I'll never even see that person. I have no who the idea that even was, whatever. And then like later the next day, I got a message, ding, and I'm like, who's this? Oh gosh, it's the girl with the cute dog. Oh, okay. She wrote a nice little comment back. Let me write back a little something to her. All right. And then she started texting with me back and forth. And next thing you know, we've got a running conversation, last weeks and then months. And eventually we get on a phone call because we want to learn more about each other. Where is this girl from? Toronto. Toronto. She's from Toronto,
Not
Canada. I'm
Toronto,
in
not
Los
Canada.
Angeles, man. What the? Oh my gosh. And then sure enough, one day she's like, well, if you're ever in Toronto, come say hi. And next thing leads to another. I showed up. I was like, yeah, I'm here. What's up? We had the greatest 2 weeks of our lives. I developed a relationship with Jennifer, and I'm here married, living in Toronto, shooting movies here in Toronto. Just booked one today, by the way.
Another one. Amazing.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
it's a series, actually.
A
Tell you more
series.
about it.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm married to this person, and now this person introduced me to you, and here we are today. So if I had not sent that one message, that one fateful day, 5 years or whatever it was ago,
Hmm.
I wouldn't be sitting here in another country on the other side of the continent having this conversation with you. Isn't that crazy?
Totally. Yeah.
I just texted her,
It's wild.
had no idea who she even was.
It's
And here we
wild.
are
Yeah.
from a text.
Yeah.
So imagine what the other bigger events, imagine the different levels of that your roads your life can take you down just on one seemingly meaningless, stupid moment.
Life can change in a second, literally, right? And
It can.
yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
Be ready for it and embrace the change too.
And be ready for it, but also don't be waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you're waiting for it, I think you put out that energy that maybe kills it. So it's like a fine balance.
Yeah, you don't want to just be blowing in the wind. We're not
Be
saying
like,
that.
I'm just waiting for my, but
Yeah.
it could happen at any moment. But it's just you can't also expect it. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's like my whole life. That's all my life is been, those moments. Just a row of seemingly insignificant moments that turned out to be life-changing. And vice versa also. It's worth noting that sometimes the things that you think you booked, or oh my God, I got that thing. Now I'm finally made it. Everyone's going to know who I am now. And my life has changed. And then you realize it's not. It was just that one really cool opportunity. And then you're still you at the end of it. Nothing changed. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? Don't let your highs be too high. Don't let your lows be too low. You just need to be finding exactly.
Yeah.
Find your cruising altitude and just commit. Show up, commit. That's it.
I like that. But I also want to hear about the best and worst day. Because it's like we've been doing this prep and you teased it. And so now I can't wait to hear it.
It's a good time for me to share.
Yeah.
Let me
I'm
preface
leaning in.
by saying this is not something incredible because this is a totally internal shift. That's all it
Oh,
is. This is
okay.
nothing
Those are the
happened. Nothing
best.
was booked. I didn't go to some exotic place for this moment. And this is also worth paying attention to. This
Mhm.
moment happened to me just on another Tuesday or whatever, unsuspecting, wasn't
Random
thinking of
Tuesday.
it. Same damn day as it was the day before, and the next day was the same thing after. This is not anything that happened externally. This is 100% just an internal shift.
Okay.
I had a couple years ago before meeting my wife, I was exiting a relationship that had run its course, and um, in a very rare, despite all the challenge of the pursuit of what I do, in a very rare, let's call it a few months of time, I had a year, let's call it, where I started questioning my value. And that would be maybe the darkest year for me. This was
Oh
what you
wow.
might say a rock bottom year. It wasn't alcohol. It wasn't, drug. It wasn't anything other than just I'm not going to blame it on this relationship. It coincided with the tail end of a very empty, very lonely relationship that I, for the first time in my adult life, questioned my worth. And it wasn't anything about acting. It was just me wondering if I'm enough as a person. Am I enough to carry to find to hold the interest of another in a relationship? I question everything, and the worst thing about it is when you question one element, it's just like a house of cards. It starts collapsing, and you just question like, what am I even here for? What am I doing? Do I bring something to the table in life? It was a depressing period. Um, anyway, let's just call it a very dark, trying time.
Yep.
And I think one day when you've got enough gravity pulling you down, you go down. And I literally remember sitting in my apartment in Los Angeles, and it wasn't a wonderful apartment, and feeling like something has to give here because I can't do this anymore. And I lied down on my floor, which was not carpeted, on a very cold, hard floor, and I spread out, arms wide, legs out, this exact position on my back. And I closed my eyes, and I remember I'm just going to let the elements take over at this point. I'm going to let the earth tell me what happens next. I'm tired of forcing this thing. I'm going to let God and the powers that be let that do the talking in my head because I'm tired of being the guy up, and the guy up here wasn't doing so well. And I lied out, and I took a few breaths in, and I felt the ground under me. And I made that intention. I said, I want to really just feel this earth underneath me. We're just floating on this little ball in space. I want to feel this thing underneath me. And I just started thinking about two things. I thought about, and this is weird, I thought about space and time, which is really weird. And it's kind of a little like, what's the word I'm looking for? Woo woo, whatever the
Well,
term
it's funny. I
is.
was just about to say that, but I was
Okay.
like,
So stupid. And I just thought about those two things. And I thought about where am I in space? Well, I'm on this little speck of dust floating out in a bunch of other specks of dust, which are just piles of other specks of dust in this endless, vast everythingness that is our universe. Wow, God, that makes me feel really small.
Hmm.
And that was a really freeing moment, weirdly enough. I felt, God, I'm
Interesting.
so small. It's kind of like, who gives a shit, right? And then I thought about time. Let's think about time. I'm only, what am I? I'm X amount of years old. That's not even a long time. I haven't even existed very long. Let's think about how much time has supposedly been in our universe. We talk billions of years. And I've only been around for these handful of decades. My time in existence is like nothing. I I'm like this little fruit fly of life just buzzing through, and it will come and go. My whole existence is just, it's nothing. It's just a speck of nothingness that is going to come and go at the frame rate of nothingness. You follow where I'm going with
Yeah,
this?
totally.
I just thought about it all, and then I thought about me and my problems, and I thought about how small I am and how finite and quick this thing comes and goes. And that perspective shifted everything for me, because it took away this pressure and expectation that I'm supposed to be something and supposed to shake the earth, and I'm supposed to make this deep impact that ripples and changes the dichotomy of everything we know and love. And Chris Connell was supposed to put his mark on this earth, and if he doesn't, he's a failure and you didn't make it. And I was able to, by having the perspective of space and time, it showed me how small I am,
Hmm.
and that freed me
Interesting.
from the weight and the pressure that I had put on myself that led me to the dark moments that led me to that day. So if that makes sense, I was breaking the chains of my own expectation and pressures of life and whatever we're going to call success. It melted off of me that day. And now I was free. It felt like I had risen. I was resurrected. And I had literally went to the ground and had it all just melt off my body. And I popped back up and go, oh my God, I didn't have to even become all those things to be somebody.
Wow.
I don't have to find my meaning in my work anymore, or by how many movies I do, or my success, my money in my bank account, or all this bullshit that we all hear and tell ourselves each day about how we have to, change the earth and it's up to you and seize this one life, which you should, but do it without this pressure that you're not going to be worth something if it doesn't go according to this stupid plan or this idea you thought you had. And I literally melted up and I stood up and I felt like my body was tingling, like I was free, like a true free spirit from all the bullshit. And now it was like, oh, I am enough.
Hmm.
Oh, this is a great day. And I don't need to go book that thing to feel good about myself anymore. I don't need to have that relationship with that person to feel good about me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I am enough. I
There.
got this.
There you
I'm
go.
pretty badass, actually. Let's go. And I just took off from there. But it only all started because I felt so down that day, in that year, in that month, and I couldn't get any lower. I needed something to just, like a million pounds of weight, just push me down to the ground and say, sit down there for a second. I'm going to teach you a lesson. But
Yeah.
I only gained that perspective because of the pressure that was
Yeah.
being pushed on me that day. So you asked, what made it the best day and the worst day? It was the worst day because I felt the worst about myself I had ever felt that day.
Hmm.
And then I chose to make it the best day ever. I was intentional and I gave into this thing and I listened to what I was feeling, and I freed myself and gifted myself a whole new chapter. And that
Absolutely.
was it. And it's here today. It's still here. That same stupid day in that crummy little dusty shitty apartment in the valley in Los Angeles on a random blase gray day. Nothing special about it at all, other than just listening to myself for the first time and gifting myself something better.
That's awesome. Yeah. There you go.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's I love that. And what a relief. What I'm hearing is relief. Like unburdening, just like you must have felt so much lighter.
Feel it today.
Yeah, just like this immense weight lifted from you. And we talk about reinventions on the show. Reinventions don't necessarily have to happen in the big flashy ways that society expects. The reinvention, oh, you had this career, now you're that. It, we ultimately have the power every day
We do.
to, yeah, and that is a really powerful. You emerge a new person, really. It's a major turning point.
I'm not a particularly religious person. I grew up Catholic, but I would imagine it would be the feeling when someone says they were
Ooh.
saved.
Oh, wow.
That kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I have to imagine it to be
A spiritual
something.
awakening.
It certainly was.
Yeah.
I would probably put it in that category.
Yeah.
And that was it. And from that point on, it was the 2.0 of my life. That's when everything else started to change. And really amazing things to this day happen. And by the way, I still want the Ferrari.
Hey, we could still want the Ferrari.
I still want the mansion and
You
the fame.
Yeah, whatever the Ferraris for you, or whatever that home in the Hollywood Hills looks like. It doesn't have to be those things, but it could be. We all want nice.
I just
things.
don't have to have that to feel like I'm worth something anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow, this is that's awesome. It was definitely worth the wait. Thank you. We're doing the prep, and so thank you for not telling me, because I could hear it. I could hear it fresh here, and yeah, and I wish everybody could give themselves the grace to become that vulnerable, so that they could all have moments like that, because it's you don't need any external. It's nothing external. It's all we all have all the resources inside.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, I want to just say to anybody who might be still listening, I think more of us than not feel those feelings.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
I'm that unique.
No.
I think we all have these moments.
Yeah, like we
And
said
it
multiple times a day.
multiple times a day.
Yeah.
And that's when everything's going okay.
That's a good day.
If anyone's going through a tough moment or year or relationship or financial stresses or identity, they're questioning themselves just, I hope that message was conveyed, that you definitely have it in you to choose. You don't have to wait for something great to happen to you. You can just make the choice, have that moment with yourself. And sometimes you have to just give into it. And,
Yeah.
you have the power in you.
Yeah.
you know.
Surrender.
Surrender
That's
to
what
it.
you did that day. You surrendered.
I absolutely would believe it.
Absolute surrender. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can't think. It's hard to top. It's hard to top that in terms of like how this conversation has flowed in so many. You've shared so openly. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'd love to give you some space to just reflect on the things we spoke about today. Anything you have top of mind that you'd love to leave with the audience.
Yeah. I mean, I would say slowing down is something also that was a big contributor to my personal success and what I'm doing right now. Sometimes I used to think like burning more hours and working harder, and you should do those things, but sometimes you do have to slow down to speed up, and it's okay to, to give into yourself that way. That's how you discover these things. And I also think working smarter, not harder, is a real wise approach to just trying to be successful at anything. Listen to yourself. you're going to know you better than anybody else. And you have to give space for that to happen. And listening to a show like this is a wonderful medium to just get those juices flowing and start having those wheels turning, and give yourself an opportunity to experience those moments. You know, so that's okay to be gentle to yourself is I think a message I'm trying to share.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Cool. So now we've reached the end of the show. I asked every guest the same three questions. The same three questions. The first, what is the greatest gift you've discovered about yourself on this journey?
I've learned that there is some possibly foolish grit in me that just cannot accept average. I can't accept not bring 100% of myself to what I'm doing in this world. I'm just the guy that's going to be swinging until the end, until the last day. I'm going to be the guy at the gym when I'm 80 years old. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping this pursuit. I'm not stopping my pursuit of acting. If I get said no 1,000 more times or 100,000 more times, it really doesn't make a difference, because I'm so confident in my abilities. I'm so proud of who I am. I'm so thirsty for, just this life in general that I think I don't care. I'm so free from caring. I really don't care. I'm going to keep coming. That's it.
It's a great
You're
gift.
stuck with me, world.
Resilience.
Yeah.
Perseverance. That's your greatest gift.
I have all that grit
Yeah.
in me.
Great.
I'm
Yeah.
quite strong when it comes to that. I got it. It's just there, whether I like it or not. Sometimes it's tiring, but it just will keep coming and it will not stop. That's it. I learned I got that.
Okay.
It's here. I'm still here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing gift to have. I love that answer. Next, what is the hardest truth you've discovered about yourself on this journey?
I think it's okay to be with the idea of not being the most gifted at something or coming out of the box perfect. And I'll explain what I mean by that. I like the idea of working really hard to improve, to get better at something, rather than just being naturally amazing at it. A lot of people, some people are just wonders, like those savants, and they're just like, oh my God, he's like, they could play the piano, at 7 years old, and they're just like, oh my God, they're the next prodigy as an artist, as an actor. I'm okay with admitting that I may not be that. I'm probably not that. I'm not that. I am okay with knowing and coming to learn that there's things I just have to work very hard at. Some actors can just look at a script and they just memorize so fast, and I'm not that kind of guy. I really have to sit with it. I have to work on it. I have to apply myself to it. I have to study it. It doesn't come so quick and easy. I really have to grind. I have to fight for it. And I'm okay now with that. I'm okay with admitting to myself, hey, you weren't so good at those things. There's a lot you didn't, especially at a younger age, as a younger actor, you just weren't doing very well. You weren't naturally good at it. I wasn't. I don't think I was. I think there's still a lot I still have to work very hard for. But I like that too. I like working hard for the things that maybe just didn't come so naturally to me. And I've learned that about myself in this process. And sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow. Every actor wants to wake up and go, oh my God, I'm just so naturally good. I've just got the stuff, and it's okay to not and say, that's okay, but we're going to work on those things. We're going to fight for it. We're going to get really good at it. We're just going to keep practicing. We're going to earn our stripes.
Yeah, and it's such a great place to get to. So how it's an example of how hard truth can actually bring you to a good place, right? And now, finally, the last question. What is your definition of authenticity?
not trying to be or do something that you think you or the rest of the world wants or is supposed to be. So doing the opposite, just being you, saying, I don't give a damn. I'm here. My hair may not be just right.
Yeah.
Um, I may be messing up all over the place. I may not have the matching shoes with this outfit that I'm supposed to have. I may not have even the perfect life, but I'm not going to go and put on the fake smile and the fake this and say the things because I want you to feel comfortable when I'm around. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's okay to make other people uncomfortable. You don't have to dull yourself down. You know what I'm saying? To try
Yes.
to win people over anymore. I think we do that a lot. I think we do it without realizing, especially as we become adults. We want to have the right image. We want people to think well of us. We want people to think we're being successful in doing things the way they're supposed to be done. We want to be good little boys and girls and to say, don't give a damn. Really don't care. I'm here for me now. I'm going to be respectful of you. You're going to probably still get a kick out of me, but I'm not here for you. And this could be a parent. This could be a sibling. This could be a spouse or significant other, or just a boss or the world in general. Whatever that is, if you're authentic with yourself, then I can go to sleep at night. That's what I really want to be more. Even more so. I think we can all work on that.
And this is your year, you said, right?
This is the
2026.
year.
It's your year of authenticity.
That's what you asked me the other day. You said, well, what's the New Year's resolution? I think we were talking about that. And I said, well, it's funny you say that because we're going to go on your show now. And I said, I literally chose at the beginning of this year that the word of the year is going to be authentic. Like it, love it, hate it. I don't care. You're just going to get me from now on. I don't care. I'm living for me at this point. I'm doing it my way, you know? And I think more self-discovery is going to come from that. I think ironically, more achievements will come of it. I think I'm going to finally deliver on the promise of my brand and who I am, bigger and better and bolder than I ever used to, because I was trying to do these other things to be likable or to be, appreciated, or to think that I'd be worth enough at that point if I did those. I'm not doing any of it. That's it. I'm pulling back the curtain.
I love that.
I'm done, baby. This
I
is
love
it.
That. That's probably the best way to end the show on that message. Chris Connell, not O'Connell. Chris Connell, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing so openly. It's been so much fun.
Oh, this is a blast, man. You're killing it. I love your show. I love your message. The world needs to hear more of this. You tell great stories, and I think we need your voice more, especially nowadays. We need this type of dialogue. You need this. You need authenticity more than ever. And what you're doing is fantastic, and it's a real pleasure to be here.
I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And that's the show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.